episode number 12 here in our Street Stock career. It has been a few days since we've streamed anything. I have made some other progress, though, and ran some more races, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and just recap a little bit of what's been going on. I don't remember the last time or where we left off at. I think we ran a couple regional races here. And so we started off regional here back at Fairbury. I kept it at 100 difficulty. We ended up qualifying 10th, finished 2nd. Went to Millstone Park with 100 difficulty, qualified 9th and finished 3rd. And I just thought to myself, you know, I want that difficulty. I mean, granted, we didn't win a race, but we're still running up front fairly easily. So we went to Eldora, which has been a good track. I feel pretty comfortable at Eldora. Up the difficulty to 102, qualified 13th, finished 3rd. So again, another good run. Went to Kokomo, kind of same result. Good qualifying effort at 8th and finished 7th. So once again, wanting to upgrade that difficulty just a little bit. We went up to 103, and now we've started having I shouldn't say some issues, but we've ran into a couple B mains where we've had to go through that. Haven't had any issues with the B main to get to the A main. So we've made A main every time, finished in the top 20 every time with the exception of once. So just going through some of those other results down the list here. Circle Lake, we finished 8th. Prairie View was 12th. I-84 was 6th. Lemeland was 7th. Jacobs County was 9th. Port Royal is probably my most difficult one. That was 23rd. That was not a good race for us. Struggled pretty mightily there. Charlotte, we got 7th. Prairie Creek, 11th. Sugar Bush, 12th. Madison Lake, 5th. Charlotte, 8th. Grant Park, 2nd. And Kokomo, the last race I ran, was 14th. That was another tough one. I had to come from a B main in Kokomo again. So a little bit different. Kokomo, I ran at that track probably more than any of them just from that local season, but we did have some issues there. And so, or got 14th there. And all of those was running on the 103 difficulty, which is where we're currently sitting at. I don't think any of the other options have changed since the last time I streamed. The only thing I was going to look into is I did drop the race length to 50%. I wanted to look at that again. It seems like the first half of the season, these races, you know, the distance was a little bit longer at the 60%, so I dropped it to 50, but now it seems we're back down a little bit. So we're going to increase this back to 60, because 15-lap feature there at Sterling County. Looking for maybe a little bit longer race out of that, maybe get to 18. Yep, there we go, 18 laps again. So that's where we're going to pick up at Sterling County. We're currently sitting, I believe it's 4th. Believe it or not, we're 4th in the point standings with those finishes. Obviously, quite a ways out from first. We have not won a race yet. I mean, we're slowly kind of getting caught by some of these other guys, but with the way we've been running, we've been in the top 5 the entire season. So I anticipate, you know, finishing the season off probably right in that area. And now to the big part, the best part, is it's been a grind, but we finally have enough money saved up to upgrade our engine. Everything else is level 4 across the grid there, and everything's fully upgraded at level 4. So the only thing that we don't have is our engine to be upgraded. So we've got enough money to do that. We're going to have a little money to spare. So we're going to go ahead and do that. This will be our first race with the upgraded engine. Probably not going to make an immediate difference. And then what we're going to do too, I just want to make sure we upgrade that durability a little bit. And then we'll just leave it at that, I think, for right now. Well, obviously we'll have to. We don't have enough funds to do anything higher than that. So maybe a little bit of better performance. But we'll see going forward. The other thing, I did purchase the 305 Sprint at the end of last season. I did do a little bit of testing with the 305, and what I decided to do is, instead of going back and forth with them, I'm just going to continue on the street stock road here, continue to upgrade this as fully as we can, and then get to that national division, which we're getting pretty close. We're within 3,000 fans of unlocking that national level. And then, of course, doing the regional championship, trying to win a regional championship, and then going to the national and going from there. So The streaming is going to be probably pretty spotty. You know, I'm not exactly sure. I did a lot of streaming early on when we started this, but now I'm probably going to run a few races and go from there. I'd say when we get into the national side of things, I'll probably do a little bit more streaming, or even when we get this car a little more fully upgraded. But I like I did before, I kind of wanted to do just maybe a couple races here. I usually say a couple, it turns into maybe 4 or 5. But open to run maybe a couple races here, just updating everybody that's been following along with what where the career's headed and different things like that. So I just need to do pull the stream up here on my computer, and then we'll head out to Sterling County, which has been, I mean, as I look back on the results here, Sterling County, you know, last time we ran here, qualified 14th, finished 3rd, and that was on 100 difficulty. Not been one of my better tracks. I don't think I've never won at Sterling County. So with the increased difficulty, anticipating this might be a little tougher of a race again. But either way, that's what's been making it a little more fun, is having that challenge. Still trying to get some of the handling down. I've kept the same steering settings, as that's what I'm getting used to, but still just battling some of that inconsistency. I've been working on the setups quite a bit, or at least some of these base setups. And from there, well, like right now, I'm running 37% loose, so that seems to be what I've gotten for the fastest setup so far. But I kind of started off messing with, just going to my custom here, I'm messing with springs a little bit when I first started dabbling with the setups. I've kind of gone away from that. I've actually kind of left the springs the way they are. I do a typical practice session for me. I'll go through camber. Usually I'm dropping the shocks all the way down to 3 for the bump and rebound. That seems to be, you know, the smoothest handling for me. Tire pressures I don't do a whole lot with. Tire stagger, I mess with that pretty considerably. I seem to run a lot lower stagger on most tracks. If you know, none for stagger or 0 for stagger. The cross weight I found to be pretty helpful. The ride heights, I've been doing a lot more with that. I've been usually dropping those ride heights down to get a little better grip. Rear weight, usually that stays about the same. I don't do a whole lot with that, but those are just a few of the things. Like I said, once we get up more into that national, and then we get this car fully upgraded, definitely start doing a lot more tweaking to try to fine-tune these setups to get the most speed out of them, and hopefully be able to run at that 105 difficulty and be competitive. But once again, I'm just gonna run a couple laps here with this 37%, getting used to the track. Might try to do a little tweaking on this custom setup. Maybe a little too loose right now. I know I really struggle. Try to run the top there. I really struggle running the top here. If I can hit my marks, I know I've ran some good laps down low, but still struggle, like when I get up to the wall, like I still have not had anybody respond to that, or I've never found anybody else to talk about that, where I get up to the wall and it's like the steering just kind of, the force feedback kind of takes over and it just sucks you right into the wall. A couple different theories, which I think number one is wrong, is you know, maybe you get up into that area and just because of the track difference, you know, the grip difference or whatnot, maybe has an influence on that. I don't know if this game is that detailed or not, but that could be one version why it, you know, you handle differently up there. And then also just the setup, you know, it could come down to that. I feel like we're getting a little bit closer on that as far as setup and getting a little better grip or handling, but still a long ways to go to my liking. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a few changes here. This is, once again, one of the first tracks that we ran at. I haven't spent a whole lot of time here, but we're just going to kind of make my normal changes. Pull up that Excel spreadsheet. You hear me make that reference quite a bit if you're running this, or even, I mean, I kind of developed this back in the NASCAR heat days. If you got a computer or any way to have like an Excel document, definitely run or make yourself a spreadsheet to document. It makes it super easy to kind of keep track of what your car is doing and what is faster, different changes that you make. Up at the time there and threw off my entry, turned in too quick there. One thing that's tough is that some of these shorter tracks I do not do a very good job of trying to look up and pay attention to my times versus watching the track. Not hitting my marks very good at all, but the changes I made, I mean, handling-wise doesn't feel so bad, but we're really not picking up anything on the speed chart. This lap wasn't terrible, and that was even worse than the previous one, so that change at least not seeming to be a whole lot different for us. Pretty close there. I think our biggest thing is we're still kind of go up to some default. I know that's going to help us turn, might make us even a little bit more loose, but try the camber adjustment, and then try our cross weight. I've got that set at 48. Caring where I'm running at here. I'm just trying to lay down some decent laps, see if we're going to be a little bit faster. It seems like the car's handling a little bit better. Picked up just a little bit of time. There we go. So picked up a little bit more time there. Right height not seeming to make a whole lot of difference here. Except for running that higher line if we have to.
Let's take a look at the speed
That's
charts.
our fastest lap there. We'll keep that ride height the same way. The only, I usually run a little lower stagger too, but just out of curiosity, let's just try turning a couple laps on it with it at 0. Should be a pretty considerable change for our handling here. So we ran fairly similar times. I think for right now, we'll just move it back up to 3. That seemed to feel a little bit better for the handling wise too. And I think we're going to leave everything else the way it is. I'm just going to make these adjustments here for spreadsheet, and then we'll move on to qualifying. I wasn't anticipating, doing the practice like this, but either way, we picked up a little bit of time. Car feels a little bit better. It might give us a little better result, as I feel like we're going to kind of get ran over here. Okay, looks like we're good to go here. We'll move on to qualifying, which we typically qualify a lot worse than what our speed is. I shouldn't say a lot worse, but usually not qualifying as well. Good entry there. It's going to slow us down a bit. On the wall a little bit there. Not a bad lap though. 12.552. I think that's. Spreadsheet updated here. Alright, so qualifying 11th, we're going to start 3rd, which will be good. That's a better starting spot than we normally have for the heat. Usually we're running that 4th or 5th spot. And the 12.552, that's quite a bit faster. I mean, we didn't even hit a 5 in practice, so that's good to see, and I didn't even think that was a great lap, so But here we go. So start of heat 3. See what we can do.
Remember, the top 5 finishers move on to the feature.
My heat races, I've typically, not very often do I do like a qualifying dash and usually finish in, you know, 3rd or 4th, somewhere in there. Not a bad run there. Wanted to move up a little higher, try to see if we could get a little more comfortable on the high side. That was not working great. Being contested there pretty good. So watch us do the qualifying dash, which once again that doesn't happen very often. Come on, 7th there, so really nowhere to go but forward. We're not going to lose much.
We're just about ready to start the qualifying dash. The winner of this race starts on the pole for the A main.
Just super slow starts here coming out of this corner. It seems like we don't get caught up just a little bit here, but swirly there. We're going to lose a bunch of time and momentum. Had to get on the brakes. Entering in way too low here, just killing our momentum. We're going to run this higher groove. Felt a little bit better, but then still a little loose off. Not able to really get gas put back down. Drop one spot there, we'll start 8th. Not, you know, kind of more along the lines of what I expected. It's just a little tougher of a track for me. I found that there aren't many of these tracks I dislike yet. There's a couple for sure, but most of these tracks are pretty unique, and I kind of like a little bit about all of them. So, but we'll roll off 8th for a feature. Again, a much better spot here than what we've been starting before. We usually start in, you know, mid-pack. side here, but I think that's where we're going to have to be. Got some contact there. Just enough to throw us off. Just good for sure. Spin there. Of course, we lose a few spots, or a couple spots there. Nice to stay in the top 10, but again, just pulls me right to the wall, so then I gotta get on the brakes and correct. Probably could have picked up maybe one more spot there if we had better entry, but take it. Eighth place, not terrible. Started 8th, finished 8th. There's a couple times where I hit the top side just perfect, or pretty darn close to perfect. You could definitely tell the difference there, but most of the time we didn't put down probably a solid, maybe just a couple laps that were pretty solid. Otherwise, the rest we were pretty inconsistent again. But 8th will work. I mean, we don't have really anybody around us right now for 4th. We're maintaining our own there. Okay. Decent payday there. That'll help us. You know, I like to think that you know, that engine upgrade maybe helped us a little bit there. I mean, we've had some good finishes, but this is a track I wasn't expecting to finish as good as we did. So. Going to Kenyon County, so I did some practicing here, and actually it was just this morning, or maybe last night, where I did a little bit of practicing, and probably one of the funnest tracks I've ran so far. Looking forward to running this one. 25,000, so go ahead, do another upgrade. That'll help us in the performance department a little bit. It might give us a little extra speed. And again, just run through and do a few little adjustments. I mean, I don't maybe spend, maybe it feels like maybe longer, but usually only spending about maybe 20 minutes or so, 15-20 minutes testing on each track, at least the first time I visit it, and then just get a decent base, or what feels like a decent base for me, and then I'll just go back into these as we go from season to season, and then just continue to tweak them. It always is just a little different feeling from basically the quick race mode into the career mode, with the differences with the cars. So hopefully this transfers over well. Feels a little looser than what I remember. Stones usually don't make it too long, just on the back stretch there. Did do some work with gears too, but tell you what, this was the fastest. We're redlining before we get to the corner, but this was the fastest for us. Those bigger barrels will actually do quite a bit of damage. Trying to run a little bit higher than what I have. That's where kind of the sweet spot's at. Try to see it. Obviously send it a little too hard, you know, over the edge. If you have a decent setup, usually, I mean, if you do make a mistake, it's fairly easy to catch it on this track, I feel like. We put down some good laps there. It's quite a ways ahead of our goal time, which has been in the rarity for this regional season. But some decent laps there. We'll go back to qualifying. At least this first regional season, the way I've got my Excel spreadsheet kind of set up here, this first go through I kind of got to tweak things a little bit, and then once you go on to that second season, then that's when you can just obviously copy that sheet, just make your adjustments, but the formatting's all kind of down there. Makes it super easy. Alright, so ready to go here for qualifying. Kenyon County. Gotta change this again. Just noticed a mistake. There we go. Let's see if we can lay down a good time here. Looking for a 15.3, which we're quite a bit better than that. So hopefully we can hit our marks. Quite a bit slower, not quite high like I need to be. Oh, and we're going to screw that lap up. So we'll have to be content with a 15.2. Which is 14th. Not great. I mean, we're faster than that, so we should be able to make up some ground. I mean, maybe not so much in the heat, but at least the feature. Would have been, you know, probably another top 10 qualifying effort there. And actually, I shouldn't even say again, I've only qualified out of, this is the 19th race on this season. I've only qualified in the top 10, ooh boy, four times, and the best qualifying effort has been 8th. And that was on a lower difficulty back at Kokomo, beginning of the season, so.
Thanks for coming out to see us, and be sure to visit the Midway for all of your food, drink, and merchandise needs.
Alright, heading to Heat 2, starting 4th. Be nice to pick up a couple spots, get into that qualifying dash, see if we can improve our starting spot a little bit, and maybe make something happen in the future. Gun shy about getting up too high, but that's where we need to be at. We're going to probably lose second here. Like right there, that's a good turn for us. Still right there. We should have came home second. Driver error, we come home 4th, which is going to put us 14th and out of the qualifying dash, which would have been ideal. Certainly not going to catch first. They like first just takes off rocket. Had things going our way early, but it was not meant to be. Again, a fun track. Hopefully we can be a little more consistent. Have a good run. Work our way up through the field. Start for us, but yeah, it really slows down here. Getting into the corner. I remember I did not run well on the bottom, so we're gonna have to try to stay up top, just to be a little more fast than what people are up here. A little too hard. Had a some moment there. Track just a little bit there, almost was going to have fourth, but again a good drive there for us. If we would have got a little more consistent early on, probably could have maybe been a little further ahead. Probably not, though. I mean, we wouldn't have never caught probably first, second, but in third, fourth, there was a stretch. But either way, we made up some ground. A little more consistent that one. We'll take it. That should give us some. Again, I mean, we're maintaining. I mean, we're probably never going to catch third. Obviously, we haven't won a race yet. May not even win a race yet this season. But a good payday, 15 grand. Just keep upgrading the street stock and another couple races will be above that 50,000, which it's going to be a little bit before we get to that national level anyways. Obviously anticipating running at least one more regional series here, or season. Ooh. So we're going to have to hold off on that last upgrade here for our engine. We need one more race there to get that upgraded, and then it'll be a while again before. I mean, tires probably not going to take us too long, but I mean, it's going to take us a while to get the rest of this upgraded to level 5. So I anticipate probably leaving that difficulty right at 103, you know, for the rest of this season, and then probably the entire rest of the next season, because it's going to take us a little bit to get our bank account filled up, get some of these upgrades done. I have also considered, if we back out here, go to our kind of our dashboard area. I've even thought about going back down to the local division and then running that local street stock division, just to, you know, a lot of those races pretty comfortable with, pretty familiar with, just try to get a little bit more money. But then also consider maybe hiring a driver, as with our car getting a little more upgraded, should be able to get some good finishes there. So, but we will, I think we're going to hold off there. We've got, let's see, 6 races to go here in this first season of regional. Once again, sitting 4th in the standings, pretty much where we've been stuck at. Yet to win, but we're getting those upgrades done. You know, we're going to be, after this next race, we'll be level 4 across the board. You know, and running on 103 difficulty. I mean, we're not winning races, but we're running up front for the most part, not having to deal with B mains, things like that. So, you know, obviously a lot of improvement, a lot of ways to go, but we're getting there, and I'm getting there as far as being able to get some of the handling down here with the wheels. So, but again, appreciate everybody that checks out some of these videos. Not many of you out there, but the ones that do, I appreciate it. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button, stay up to date on when we're running and when these streams are going live. So, but again, thanks everybody, and everybody take care. We'll chat at you later.